When did the weather completely wreck your mission? We were doing this big joint training exercise with the Air Force at Nellis, and our CO wanted to impress the visiting generals with a perfectly coordinated ground assault demonstration. Lieutenant Colonel Barnes had been planning this thing for months, talking about how it was going to showcase our unit's tactical superiority and precision timing to high-ranking officials from the Pentagon. The weather forecast called for clear skies and perfect visibility, which was exactly what we needed for the helicopters and ground teams to work together flawlessly. Morning of the exercise, everything starts perfectly with blue skies and calm winds as we load up our gear and head to the designated landing zone in the Nevada desert. But about 30 minutes before showtime, these massive storm clouds roll in out of nowhere, like something from a disaster movie, completely blocking out the sun. The wind picks up to about 40 miles per hour, and suddenly we're getting hit with this biblical sandstorm that makes it impossible to see more than 10 feet in any direction. Our helicopters can't land because the pilots literally can't see the ground, and the radio communications are getting completely scrambled by all the static electricity in the air. So here we are supposed to be demonstrating our elite tactical skills while stumbling around blind in a sandstorm that turned the whole desert into a brown fog of misery. The best part is the visiting generals are sitting in this observation bunker watching us through binoculars, except they can't see anything either, just a wall of swirling sand where their demonstration is supposed to be happening. Lieutenant Colonel Barnes is running around trying to salvage the situation by yelling orders that nobody can hear over the howling wind, while sand is filling up everyone's equipment and turning our weapons into beach toys. After 2 hours of this chaos, Command finally calls off the exercise and we trudge back to base, looking like we'd been buried alive in the Sahara Desert for a week. When we get back, the Air Force guys are waiting for us with cold beer, and they're all cracking up because their weather officer had predicted this storm hours ago, but nobody thought to check with them before the mission. The visiting generals ended up being more impressed with how we handled the disaster than they would have been with a perfect demonstration, because they said real combat never goes according to plan anyway. Barnes got promoted 6 months later, and now tells everyone that the sandstorm was part of his original plan to test our adaptability under adverse conditions, which nobody believes.